A few square meters of cow skin can become a $5,000 briefcase and a $100 million a year business. But before it looks anything like a Montblanc masterpiece, it's a bloody, heavy, imperfect hide on a factory floor. Most of us see the final product: a sleek wallet, a luxury belt, a polished document case. We almost never see the journey. Today, we go inside a cow leather factory to follow that transformation and step by step, from raw skin to premium leather products that rival the big luxury houses. If you enjoy seeing how high-end things are really made, consider subscribing so you don't miss the rest of this series. It all starts with something that doesn't look luxurious at all. Fresh cowhides arriving from slaughterhouses. They're stacked, folded, still carrying traces of fat, flesh, and moisture. Each hide is heavy, sometimes over 30 kilos, and if it isn't treated quickly, it rots. Workers move fast, spreading the hides open and checking for scars, insect bites, and branding marks. Every defect will either be cut away or cleverly hidden later in the design to stop nature from taking back the skin. The first defense is salt. Mountains of coarse salt are poured and rubbed over the hides. This dehydrates the skin and slows bacterial growth. In some factories, the hides arrive already salted. In others, the salting happens on site. The salted hides are then stacked like thick, wet carpets and left to cure. It's a simple step, but without it, there would be no leather industry. Just piles of decaying waste. Once cured, the hides move to the beating heart of the factory. The massive drums. These are giant rotating barrels made of wood or metal, large enough to hold dozens of hides at once. Workers load the skins and add water and chemicals to start the soaking process. Hours of rotation wash away dirt, blood, and salt, rehydrating the hides so they become soft and pliable again. The smell here is strong, a mix of wet animal and chemicals. But this is where raw skin starts to become a controlled material. After soaking, the hides go through liming. This is where hair and remaining flesh are removed. Caustic solutions open the fibers and loosen the hair roots. Then comes one of the most striking machines in the entire factory, the fleshing machine. Huge rollers with sharp blades scrape the underside of the hide, shaving off fat and tissue. Thick ribbons of pale flesh fall away onto a conveyor, while the hide itself becomes cleaner, thinner, and more uniform. What was once part of a living animal is now starting to look like a technical material. At this stage, the hide is split. A powerful splitting machine slices the thick skin horizontally into layers. The top layer, the grain side, is the most valuable. This is what becomes premium leather for high-end bags and wallets. The lower layers, the split, are used for suede, linings, or cheaper products. A single cowhide can yield multiple categories of leather, each destined for a different price point. The finest factories, the ones that supply brands comparable to Montblanc, are ruthless here. Only the best grain sections survive the selection for luxury items. Now comes the true alchemy of leather: tanning. The prepared hides go back into huge drums, this time with tanning agents. In many modern factories, chromium salts are used because they are fast and efficient, turning the hides a characteristic bluish color known as wet blue. In more traditional or eco-focused setups, vegetable tannins from tree bark and plants are used, a slower method that can take weeks but produces a firmer, more natural-feeling leather. Inside the rotating drums, the tanning agents penetrate deep into the collagen fibers, stabilizing them so the leather will never rot, even if it gets wet. This is the moment when perishable animal skin becomes a durable, long-lasting material. When the hides emerge from tanning, they are thick, rubbery, and soaked. They're pressed between rollers to squeeze out excess water, then carefully measured. Every square foot counts because this is where the numbers start to look like money. A single high-quality hide can be worth hundreds of dollars at this stage. Multiply that by thousands of hides processed every month, and you begin to see how a factory like this can move tens of millions of dollars worth of material every year. Next is shaving and trimming. A shaving machine with rotating blades evens out the thickness of each hide to precise tolerances. 1.2 millimeters for a wallet, 2 millimeters for a structured bag, more for belts. Workers check the thickness with gauges, feeling the leather between their fingers. Edges are trimmed, holes and major defects are cut away. What's left is a clean, consistent sheet of leather. This uniformity is what allows luxury brands to cut multiple pieces that fit together perfectly without awkward bulges or thin spots that might tear. Now the leather is ready for color. In the dyeing drums, pigments and dyes are added to the wet leather. The drums spin again, rolling the hide so the color penetrates evenly. For a classic black briefcase or a deep brown wallet, the color isn't just on the surface. It goes through the entire thickness of the leather. This way, if the product gets scratched, the mark is less visible. After dyeing, oils and fats are added in a process called fat liquoring. This step gives the leather its softness, flexibility, and resistance to cracking. The exact mix of oils, waxes, and conditioners is often a closely guarded secret, one of the key formulas that separates ordinary leather from luxury-grade material. The dyed leather is then dried. Some factories hang the hides in large drying rooms. Others stretch them on frames or run them through vacuum dryers. As the moisture leaves, the leather stiffens again. But now it has a stable color and a defined character. To bring back suppleness, the hides are staked and softened by machine. Mechanical arms or rollers knead and stretch the leather, breaking the stiffness and making it flexible. You can hear the creak of fibers as they loosen, like someone slowly bending a thick book back and forth until it moves easily. The surface finish is where the leather starts to look like something you'd see in a boutique window. Some hides are buffed with fine abrasives to remove minor imperfections, creating a smoother grain. Others are left more natural, with visible pores and markings that appeal to purists. Pigment coatings or transparent finishes are sprayed on in controlled layers. For glossy products, multiple coats and polishing steps are added. For matte, just enough finish is used to protect the surface without killing the natural look. Embossing machines press patterns into the leather. Subtle grain textures, crosshatch effects, or even the signature patterns that luxury brands use to distinguish their products. Up to this point, everything has been about turning the skin into leather. Now the focus shifts, turning leather into objects that people will pay thousands of dollars for. Large sheets are taken to the cutting section. Here, metal dies shaped like each pattern piece. Front panels, side gussets, handles, straps are placed over the leather. Hydraulic presses punch through, cutting perfect shapes in seconds. Skilled workers decide where to place each die, avoiding scars and flaws, aligning the best parts of the grain where they'll be most visible. This placement is an art. Done well, it maximizes both beauty and yield. The cut pieces move to the artisan's tables. This is where the factory suddenly feels less industrial and more like a workshop. Edges are skived, thinned down so seams won't be bulky. Linings are cut from softer leathers or high-quality textiles. Adhesives are applied to hold layers together before stitching. On premium items, edges are painted multiple times, sanded between coats, to create that smooth, rounded, almost seamless look you see on luxury wallets and straps. Stitching is another giveaway of quality. Industrial sewing machines hum as artisans guide each piece under the needle. The stitches are straight, evenly spaced, and often reinforced at stress points. Some details are still done by hand. A hand-stitched handle, a decorative saddle stitch, a carefully folded corner that no machine can quite replicate. Every hole, every thread tension, every backstitch is checked. If a seam is crooked by even a few millimeters, the piece can be rejected or downgraded to a lower price category. Hardware brings the leather to life. Zippers, buckles, locks, logo plates, and metal feet are attached. These components are often made of brass or zinc alloy, plated in shiny finishes. They must fit perfectly into pre-cut slots and reinforced areas. A misaligned lock or a loose rivet can ruin the perception of luxury. The best factories test zippers for thousands of cycles, check buckles for strength, and polish hardware so it reflects light like jewelry. When you snap a closure on a premium leather bag and it feels satisfyingly solid, that's not an accident, it's engineering. Before anything leaves the factory, there's inspection. Workers run their hands over every surface, looking for wrinkles, bubbles, stains, or tiny scratches. They open and close compartments, test straps, and check that edges are smooth and evenly colored. Some pieces are rejected outright. Others are sent back for rework. Only the top tier gets packed in dust bags and boxes, ready to be labeled and shipped. For a brand operating at the level of Montblanc, this last filter is ruthless. It's better to destroy a flawed piece than risk a disappointed customer. Here's the twist. The same cowskin that could have ended up as cheap belt material in a discount store has, through this process, become part of a product worth thousands of dollars. The difference is not the animal. It's the precision of the tanning, the chemistry, the machines, and the hands that cut, stitch, and finish every edge. That's the real $100 million secret of cow leather. Value isn't just harvested, it's engineered and crafted into existence. If you think this transformation is intense, Wait until you see what happens when the raw material itself is rare and controversial. The next step in this series takes you inside the leopard leather factory, where every square centimeter is worth a fortune, and the stakes are far higher. See you there.